It seems like every day now, there's someone speaking out about what's wrong with modern Hollywood. Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
Pretty please, with sugar on top.
So I'm not sure if you're all aware of this, but we live in a time where people take it personally if you criticize something that they like. It's almost as if some properties are just above criticism. You could take the greatest film that's ever been created and still find faults in it. Nothing is above criticism, especially when that something is at least partially responsible for the state that the entertainment industry is in right now creatively. And before anyone brings up how much these people are getting paid or how much money these movies make at the box office, it should be noted that for all the people who are speaking up, everyone from Martin Scorsese to Stephen Dorff to me, it's never really been about how much money these movies make. I mean, they are entertaining on the most basic level. Of course they're going to make a lot of money. As film lovers, though, we speak up because we want variety. We want creativity. We want something original, even if a lot of other people don't.
Anybody care about what I want?
I do.
Shut up. Get out.
So actor Stephen Dorff echoed these sentiments this week in a recent interview, and he definitely didn't hold back. And you know what? I applaud him for that. Everyone should be allowed to speak their mind. It's going to make him a lot of enemies, and it probably already has, but like a wise man once said, sometimes the truth hurts. I think we're at a tipping point in popular culture right now, and I definitely think we're heading in the wrong direction. And a lot of these artists are speaking up because they see the same things that I'm seeing and that I've been talking about for years on this channel.
It's right. It's like when I'm right, I'm right. And when I'm wrong, I could have been right. So I'm still right because I could have been wrong.
That makes sense.
The big takeaway from this interview is that Stephen Dorff believes that superhero movies are what is wrong with modern cinema. And for the most part, I happen to agree with that. He goes on to say that he wouldn't want to be in a movie like Black Widow, which is coming out this week, because, quote unquote, it looks like garbage to him. I happen to agree with that as well.
Fuck me, right?
He said he's embarrassed for the people involved, and mostly for Scarlett Johansson. Now, I think this is the part that a lot of people are taking and running with and basically making it sound like Stephen Dorff is somehow jealous of Scarlett Johansson. Yes, she's getting paid a lot of money, and yes, he mentions that, because that's kind of the point. She's a very talented actress, and quite frankly, she's better than what these movies give her. For some reason, it's no longer about creating art, it's about chasing a paycheck. Stephen Dorff goes on to say that he actually still hunts for good shit, and that he would rather find the next Stanley Kubrick and work for him than be in one of these films.
I love the little son of a bitch. I'd do anything for him. Any fucking thing.
If only more people thought that way. Now, I'm not discouraging anyone for taking advantage of a situation and getting a nice payday, but can you imagine the directors that are probably getting overshadowed because superhero movies typically flood the market? Talk about a lack of opportunity. And a lot of people are hating on Stephen Dorff, but look at it this way. Maybe superhero movies are the only parts that he's being offered right now, and that frustrates him a little bit. Maybe he's just looking for something a little bit more creative in the stuff that he puts out. I don't see how anyone could argue the fact that the market is oversaturated with superhero movies. I mean, it's gotten so bad that I've actually grown bored with them. And you're talking to a person who loves these characters and wants to see them adapted properly. I used to love the movies because they only came out once every 3 years, so they felt special each time they did. During the early years of these films, filmmakers had time to execute a unique plan for each individual film, instead of abiding by some formula that was set up by a studio to make them fall in line. That's how we got Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. That's how we got Tim Burton's Batman, or Christopher Nolan's Batman for that matter, or Richard Donner's Superman, R.I.P. And yes, even Blade, a movie that Stephen Dorff actually starred in.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
The point is that when these movies were being made, you had a bunch of different companies at the helm. And you had different writers and directors bringing their own ideas to these franchises. And yes, you were able to differentiate between these movies. They didn't all look and sound exactly the same.
Whoa, whoa. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
Stephen Dorff even took a shot at this year's Sorry Excuse for an Oscars, saying that it was an embarrassment and that the actors and directors involved look like they don't know what they're doing, saying they're all being contained in these little boxes on streaming services, and how it's become this big clusterfuck of content now. That's quite a coincidence because one of my other big issues with modern entertainment is their reliance on streaming services. These companies have to produce content just to justify the price point that they're charging you for their subscription fee. But in my eyes, they have no desire to actually create quality content. There's no incentive because they know people are going to watch anyway because it's convenient and it's basically free. And now we have organizations like the Academy who are embracing this content and thus destroying their credibility. The Oscars used to be prestigious. It was like the Super Bowl of film.
You love me. You really love me.
It's about pandering to a certain group of people instead of what it should be about, and that's rewarding quality filmmaking. To be clear, I'm not saying that comic book movies shouldn't exist. There's a place for them just like there's a place for streaming content. But these things should never dominate the market because honestly, when it does, that stifles creativity. I really feel like when people get upset about people bringing criticism to stuff like this, that they're really missing the point. It's not about taking away what you love. It's about people who love cinema just wanting more for the art form. I want to see people contribute in a bigger way, just like the people involved want to contribute in a bigger way other than just standing in front of a green screen. How can you fault anyone for that and for feeling that way? For deciding to choose creativity over a paycheck? Honestly, I think that's pretty honorable. There's nothing wrong with that, and honestly, I wish more people in Hollywood would take the same approach because I think they could enact some real change.
I'll tell you what we are, sister. We're the top of the fucking food chain.
So let me know what you thought about all this in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Y'all be cool. Nah.